Have you ever finished a story so rich, so profound, only to realize it ended with a mystery? That's exactly what happened with Dream of the Red Chamber, one of China's 4 great classical novels. Written by Cao Xueqin, it's a brilliant, poetic epic of love, loss, and the fall of a once great family, but he died before finishing it. Only 80 chapters were complete. And then came Gao A and Cheng Weiyuan, who published the final 40 chapters, the version most readers know today. But are they truly Cao's, or something different altogether? The lost ending of Dream of the Red Chamber, also known as the Chengao continuation, aims to close the curtain on a story that felt beautifully suspended in air. Gao Yi claimed to have access to Cao Xueqin's notes and faithfully completed the narrative. What follows in these last 40 chapters is the heartbreaking collapse of the Jia family, the devastating love story of Jia Baoyu and Lin Daiyu, and the philosophical journey from worldly desire to spiritual awakening. At the center is Jia Baoyu. When we rejoin him in the final chapters, he's still caught between love and duty. He adores his cousin Lin Daiyu, a girl of fragile health and poetic soul, but his family forces him to marry the more practical and socially advantageous Shui Baochai. The wedding is planned in secret, and when the truth reaches Daiyu, it breaks her. She dies not long after, heartbroken, betrayed, and alone. Her death is the emotional climax of the novel and symbolizes the collapse of youthful idealism. Baoyu too is shattered. The marriage to Baochai is empty, haunted by the memory of Daiyu. Slowly, Baoyu begins to drift away from worldly concerns. As the Jia family falls deeper into disgrace, riddled with scandal, corruption, and political ruin, Baoyu becomes increasingly disillusioned. Finally, he abandons everything, wealth, status, even his wife, and leaves to become a monk. His departure represents a search for spiritual clarity in a world that has failed him. Meanwhile, the rest of the Jia family is not spared. The household that once dazzled with its gardens, feasts, and refined culture crumbles under the weight of its arrogance and poor judgment. Arrests are made, fortunes are lost, influential allies disappear, some family members die, others are exiled or imprisoned. The moral decay that Cao Xueqin so carefully hinted at in earlier chapters comes full circle in Gao Yi's continuation. A major theme that emerges in the later chapters is impermanence. Wealth, beauty, youth, love, all are fleeting. This mirrors Buddhist and Taoist teachings, and Gao Yi makes those philosophies much more explicit than Cao did. For Jia Baoyu, it's no longer just about romance or rebellion. It becomes about transcending human suffering altogether. His final choice to renounce the world is a powerful statement about letting go. But here's the question that has stirred debate for over 2 centuries. Did Gao Yi really finish Cao's masterpiece the way it was intended? Or did he rewrite the ending to match his own moral compass? Many scholars believe the final 40 chapters differ in tone, structure, and philosophical emphasis. Where Cao was subtle and ambiguous, Gao is often direct and moralistic. For example, Baochai is elevated as the ideal Confucian wife, dutiful, patient, composed, while Daiyu's emotional depth is seen as destructive. It feels like a shift in values, from romantic idealism to social conformity. And then there's the structure. The early chapters of the novel are layered, filled with metaphors, dream sequences, poems, and philosophical riddles. The final chapters, while dramatic, often feel more straightforward and plot-driven. Critics argue that Gao Yi ties things up too neatly, resolving character arcs that were originally meant to be more open-ended or symbolic. Did Cao really plan for Baoyu to become a monk, or was that Gao's attempt to force a moral conclusion? Still, many readers embrace the Chengao ending. After all, it gives closure. The novel moves from youthful beauty to adult disillusionment, and finally, to spiritual transcendence. That arc resonates deeply with those who see the story not just as a romance, but as an allegory for life itself. Daiyu's death hurts, but it's also beautiful in its sorrow. Baoyu's departure is sad but noble. It's the emotional and philosophical journey that matters. From a literary perspective, the lost ending transforms Dream of the Red Chamber into a full-circle tale. It starts with dreams and illusions. Baoyu's birth is linked to a magical jade, and the early chapters are filled with poetic beauty and fantasy. It ends with awakening, Bao Yu casting off his jade and walking away from illusion. The stone from the heavens, which once descended to learn about human life, returns home. That spiritual arc, many believe, is faithful to the novel's deeper purpose. Of course, if you prefer the mystery, reading only Cao's 80 chapters leaves you in a state of suspended heartbreak, where nothing is resolved and beauty fades like a dream. Some modern editions even stop there on purpose, letting readers imagine their own endings. And in a way, that's part of the magic of this novel. It reflects back whatever you bring to it: love, grief, ambition, faith. So, is the lost ending the true ending? Maybe, maybe not. But it is a powerful conclusion, and for generations of readers, it's given shape to one of the most breathtaking literary works ever written. If this story moved you, if Bao Yu's journey resonates, or if Dayu's fate broke your heart, don't stop here. Dive deeper into Dream of the Red Chamber. There are layers within layers, and each reading reveals something new. Subscribe for more literary journeys like this, and let me know in the comments what story you'd love to explore next. Until then, remember, some of the greatest stories don't just end, they echo.